Good morning. Today we are going to do being a writer. We're going to hear and discuss a story. We're going to draw pictures about places we like to go, and we're going to write a story about our picture. And the story I'm going to read is called Big Mamas. And authors sometimes get their ideas from personal experiences, like places they like to go or things they like to do. This is written by Donald Cruz. He also draws the pictures. And I'm going to read this real quick. I don't know how quick, it's kind of long, but I'm going to read this to you. Big Mamas. Did you see her? Did you see Big Mama? We called our grandma Big Mama. Not that she was big, but she was Mama's mama. Every summer we went to see her. Mama, my sisters, my brother, and me. Daddy had to work. He'd come later. It took 3 days and 2 nights on the train. Now we were nearly there. Look at the excitement of those kids. Cottondale, Cottondale. Next station stop, Cottondale, yelled the conductor to the nearly empty train. Don't leave no babies on this train. He made the same joke year after year. My Uncle Slank came for us by car. We'd always hoped he'd come with a horse and wagon, but he never did. We crossed back over the train tracks a turn or two along the red dirt road. And onto the lane in front of Big Mama's house. Big Mama and Big Papa were waiting for us on the porch. There were hugs and kisses and, oh my, how you've grown and how tall you are. Is this really you? Sounds like a grandma and grandpa, doesn't it? Then off with our shoes and socks. We wouldn't need them much in the next few weeks. Now to see that nothing had changed. In the hall, the sewing machine that you had to pedal like a bicycle. The big clock over the fireplace. The wind-up record player. The kerosene lamps and the Sears Roebuck catalogs. Our room, my brother and mine, and Uncle Slank's. Across the hall, the room where my sisters and Mama slept. Next to it, Big Mama's and Big Papa's room. Then to the back porch. Off the porch were 3 rooms. The tiny extra room, no bigger than the bed in it. None of us wanted to sleep there alone. The dining room with the big round table and chairs, and next to it, the kitchen. On the porch was the washstand, where we washed our hands, faces, and feet. At the end of the porch was the well. Don't fall in, we were told every year. No one ever did. Here's the well. Do you see the washboard where they wash their hands and feet and face? We stood on tiptoe to watch the bucket go down and fill with water so that we could have a drink from the dipper that hung nearby. Everything was just the same. There's the well. In the backyard was the chicken coop, where Sunday's dinner chicken spent its last day. There's the chicken coop and the chicken. Behind the shed, full of old stuff, was the oat house. Okay now, but scary in the dark. We stopped for a drink at the pump. We ran past the pear tree where the turkeys roosted at night. This seems like such a neat place. Under the tractor in front of the tool shed was a good place to look for nests with eggs in them. Next to the tool shed was the huge empty pot for making syrup from sugarcane juice. I dug some worms from the big pile of cane pulp. Wigglers were the best kind for fishing. I chose a pole. The barn was another place to look for eggs. On to the stable to see Nancy and Maud. Maud was friendlier, but Nancy was a biter. Down the path, past the cow pen and the pig pen to the pond. The flat-bottomed boat was still there. Plenty of water for fishing and swimming this year. Everything just as it should be. A fish! A fish! I got one! I got one! I yelled. Woo! Woo! The train whistled. Dinner time! Everybody sitting around the table that filled the room. Big Mama, Big Papa, Uncle Slank, our cousins from down the road, and all of us. We talked about what we did last year. We talked about what we were going to do this year. We talked so much, we hardly had time to eat. The night was jet black except for millions of stars. We could hardly sleep thinking about things to come. Some nights, even now, I think that I might wake up in the morning and be at Big Mama's with the whole summer ahead of me. The end. That was kind of a sad ending. It didn't really tell us a lot, but I think he really, really enjoyed. You could tell that he had vivid memories of when he would visit Big Mama. Some of the vocabulary that we went over, a wind-up record player was a machine with a handle you turned to play music. Kerosene lamps, lights that burn oil, we had those. An outhouse is toilet that's separate from the house. Roosted means settled and rested, about the turkeys. Sugarcane juice was sweet sap from a plant. What are some of the things that Donald Cruz tells you about spending the summer at Big Mama's? Do you remember, he said that they would play with they stopped for a drink at the pump and pump water. They would get water out of the well. He went fishing, he dug for his worms. They searched for eggs. Lots of cool things that he did. Now, I'm going to ask you to draw. You're going to draw something you like to do, because that's where a lot of people get their ideas. A lot of authors get their ideas from drawing places they've been, and then they draw and write about it and make a story. But I'm going to show you what I like to do. It's not a real dark but I'm going to show you anyway. This is what I like to do, and I'm going to write about it too. Can you see that? It's a lake. We have a boat, and we fish anytime we can. My husband and I, that's all we like to do. So I just drew that, and I'm going to write about it later. So I'm going to have you draw and write. I want you to go ahead and just get a piece of paper or your composition notebook that we packed and just draw a picture of something you like to do. It could be just a vacation that you go on or you've gone on, something that you like to do or something that you enjoy or enjoyed, and then draw just a few little sentences about it. And that is our Being a Writer for today. Bye, guys.